Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to Get Hit with the Truth. Today doing the what's next on Gervonta Tank Davis, the WBA regular champion at 135 pounds lightweight. So Davis just over on December 5th, the main event at a Showtime pay-per-view card, and got a harder than expected victory over Isaac Cruz to retain his secondary title, but he really had to work hard for it. He got a close unanimous decision over Cruz. It was a fight that there was a lot of people that thought he lost the fight, but I think most that were scoring the fight had it close, but had Davis winning because of the cleaner, more effective shots that he landed, as opposed to Cruz, who just was coming forward and throwing a lot of punches, but Davis was landing the harder, cleaner shots, and that's what got him the decision. So it was about 7 rounds to 5 on 2 of the judges' scorecards, and I think the other judge had it 8-4 in favor of Davis. So he gets the win. Apparently he injured his hand, fractured his hand. So not sure exactly when he's gonna be back, but we're gonna run him through the top 10 and see what possibly could be next for Gervonta Tank Davis. So we start with George Cambosos, the unified champion, who's number 1 right now. Cambosos got the upset over Teofimo Lopez to win all the titles, and to be honest, Tank Davis and Cambosos isn't completely out of the question, and the reason for that is that Davis is the secondary champion, the WBA regular champion, and Cambosos is the super champion for the WBA. So with the WBA trying to reduce the amounts of world titles, the WBA could order this fight to take place next. And that would be huge if that happened. Now we don't know the extent of Davis's injury yet, but I'm assuming he's going to be out at least about 6 months. And you know what? That's not that big of a deal for him, because that's an average of when he fights anyway. So I wouldn't expect Tank Davis to be back until the earliest May, but most likely June. And Cambosos just fought in November. I don't think he'd be opposed to it. So I really think that this fight is possible. Now, I think it's more likely that the WBA allows him to wait, but I really think it could happen next, So that is a possibility for Gervonta Tank Davis for sure, and it really would be a huge test for him to fight Cambosos next, so we'll see. Number 2 is Teofimo Lopez. Not going to happen. Lopez is moving up to 140. This would be top rank, working with the PBC and Mayweather. That's not going to happen. So I don't see Lopez and Davis locking horns. Plus, Lopez is moving up to 140, and Davis has already made it clear that of the 2 titles that he had, he chose to stay at 135. So he's staying here. Lopez is moving up. No chance that we're going to see these 2 lock horns. Number 3 is Vasily Lomanchenko. To be honest, if the 2 sides wanted to make this fight happen, they could do it. Lomachenko might get ordered to fight Cambosos also. He's in the Cambosos sweepstakes as well, because he's the number 1 contender in the WBC and the WBO. But this fight definitely would be something that I think Lomachenko would be okay with if Cambosos went after Devin Haney instead. But I just don't think Mayweather and his camp want to make this fight with Lomachenko. Lomachenko's just too good. So, and especially with Davis looking vulnerable in the fight against Cruz and not even knocking him out, I think it kind of leaves that door for a Lomachenko fight closed, so I'm not seeing it. Number 4 is the WBC champion, Devin Haney. It's just a bad matchup for Tank, and Eddie Hearn and Matchroom would have to want to make the fight with Tank Davis, and I think they'd be into it, but I just don't think Mayweather and his promotion would be into it. Again, just a bad matchup for Tank Davis, so not seeing that one. I have Davis number 5. Number 6 is Ryan Garcia. This is Golden Boy working with the PBC and Mayweather. That's not going to happen. Those 2 sides are not going to work together. Plus, Ryan Garcia is way too much of a threat for Gervonta Davis right now, so I'm not seeing it. Number 7 is Jojo Diaz. Diaz would want to make the fight, but I don't think, but again, this is Golden Boy working with Mayweather Promotions, and I just don't think the 2 sides would come together to make that fight, so I'm going to say no. Number 8 is Jorge Linares. Linares works with Matchroom, He's trying to move in position to get another WBC title shot. I just don't think, one, I think it's a bad matchup for Tank Davis, and two, I don't see the two sides coming together. Number 9 is Javier Fortuna. He'd be an interesting one because I know his last couple fights have been on the Golden Boy banner, but he fought for the PBC prior to that, so I don't know if he's a promotional free agent or not, Fortuna, but if he is, I think he's a quality opponent in the top 10 for Tank Davis to test himself on, but I'm not sure if the fight can be made, but I do think it's possible. And then we got a 3-way tie for 10th going on right now. Isaac Cruz is my number 10. That would be a rematch. I think that is possible because I think Davis might want to show. Well, one, Isaac Cruz is with the PBC like Davis, so it's an easy fight to make. But I think Davis would want to go out there and show that he's better than the performance he put out, so he might want to go leave no doubt and knock Isaac Cruz out. That might be his goal for a rematch. Plus, he might not have any other credible top 10 guys to choose from in his next fight, so he might just want to soak up that time by giving Isaac Cruz a rematch. Richard Comey's also tied for 10th. He's with Top Rank in the PBC. I mean, he's with Top Rank and ESPN. They're not going to work with the PBC and Mayweather, so I don't see that one happening. And then I also have Lee Selby tied for 10th. Now, Selby's an interesting choice as well because Selby, he last fought with Matchroom, but I'm not sure if he's a promotional free agent or if he's tied with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom for sure, because he did have ties with the PBC prior to that, and I think he's not too threatening but good enough name for Davis to fight. Now, he hasn't fought since he lost to Cambosos by a split decision last year, but if he were to come back and get a tune-up bout early in 2022, and it's not an impossible fight to make, I think he'd be down to fight Tank Davis, and he's a credible opponent because, let's be honest, Cambosos is sitting at the top of maybe the best division in boxing at lightweight now, and he fought a very close fight with Cambosos just a year ago. With Lee Selby just a year ago. I personally thought Lee Selby won that fight. It was close, and Cambosos walked away with a split decision. So Selby might be a quality opponent for Tank Davis to test himself against if the fight can be made. So all that being said, I really believe that if Tank doesn't get the George Cambosos fight next, he's going to have to either rematch Isaac Cruz, maybe Lee Selby would be an option, but there's he might have to pull a guy up from 130 who fights for the PBC to fight him, or maybe the Rolando Romero fight would be an option. But Tank, if he doesn't get Cambosos, it's going to be tough to see what he's going to test himself against next. He's 27 now, he's undefeated, and people want to see him fight the best guys at 135. So Floyd Mayweather, his promoter, is in a little bit of a pickle here. He's going to have to decide if he wants to work with the other promotions to make these super fights happen, because Tank Davis is on that super fighter type level now. He's getting up there, pay-per-view numbers and all that kind of stuff rolled together. People want to see him fight. And this division, they want to see these studs fight each other because they're all badasses, and the division is really deep, and they want to see the politics get put to the side and the fights get made. So I'm interested in seeing if Tank fights Cambosos or who he does decide to fight next. But to be honest, if it's not Cambosos, I really believe a rematch with Isaac Cruz could be the direction that Tank Davis goes in next. But we'll see what happens. But that's it. That's what's next on Gervonta Tank Davis. Hope you guys enjoyed it. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.